Hey there! How you doing,
today?
boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, all the ships at sea?
I was going to go say that, and you just went right ahead and said it.
Well, you go ahead and say it.
All the ships at sea. Thank you.
Well, boy, that was pretty exciting. I'm Larry Bly.
I'm Doug Patterson,
and we're Cookin' Cheap. Look,
Sorry.
Doris has been at it again. Doris is so sweet.
Oh,
she
look.
brings us little treats every
Little
week.
candles.
Little leftovers from Christmas a couple of months ago.
Swell.
This is what the grandchildren didn't eat over the Christmas. You got them on sale.
Even worse.
It's even worse. We have, oh, Mailman Mike is here.
Did we get another gift?
He brought us a gift from around the world. People send us stuff all the time. Remember the hats a couple of weeks ago?
Love them.
Took mine home. Mouse ate a big hole in it immediately. Can't wear it anymore. Have to get it patched up. Honest to goodness. 2 cats in the house. If a mouse doesn't look or smell like a frisky, forget it.
I say, hit the road.
Larry Bly, Doug Patterson, dear boys, I have really learned to like your show since being forced to. No, it doesn't say that. Since I started watching November of last year, I was home with an injured leg from work.
Oops.
And like the old Springsteen song says, 57 channels and nothing to watch.
Oh.
So flipping through, I found you all.
She flipped us.
I am sending you a new set of pigs for the table. Hope you don't pick on them too bad. Okay. And that's signed James Ham. This is the guy up in Harrisonburg, isn't it?
No, Lamb.
Isn't? Huh?
Lamb is his name.
Lamb. Oh, it's ham, lamb, spam. Thank you, ma'am. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Some more pigs.
Some fine ceramic table
Let's get them
pigs.
out of here.
Oh.
Watch us break them. Watch them go in the
We
trash.
are in such trouble. You cannot get
Here
these
is
out. Here's a
an
picture
actual
of what it was.
photograph of the pigs, ladies and gentlemen, because it appears as though we're not going to be able to see them in person.
But you'll see them next week.
Let's hand those to
Doris.
the lady who takes care of all things around Cookin' Cheap. What are we doing this week?
I have no idea anymore.
Let's see what the witch says. Witch
What
number
does
1
the witch
or
say?
witch number 2?
Oh, see, we have a stand-in witch launcher. Oh. Yeah, nice try.
We have an assistant witch launcher, and it didn't work so hot.
Failed miserably.
Oh, well. Dear sweet boys.
That's us.
We just love to watch you on television. It's the first decent show since Let's Go Fishing went off the old Dumont television network back in the 50s. Of course,
I can't believe you remember that.
I know. You know I'm pretty old when I can bring that one out. Of course, the old Dumont network never did get the color right. My hubby Ralph and I want to know if you can come up with something a little different to do with canned salmon or tuna or anything else you can think of that comes out of a can. Your favorite viewers in Bluefield, Wanda and Ralph Hillside.
Is that a fish
The
named
Hillside family, huh?
Wanda? A fish named Wanda.
So anyway, it's funny you should ask.
Why?
This is because we don't know what we're doing today. This is a true story. I was supposed to do mock crab cakes, but it was put into the second slot on the sheet, and I didn't pay any attention, so I went out and did the tuna rice pie. And Saturday night, I ran into Doug in a store, and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm buying this so I can get my tuna rice pie out of the thing."
Oh.
And he says, "Wait a minute, I'm doing the tuna rice pie." And I said, "Well, I've already done the tuna." So then you call today, and you were going to do...
Well, actually, I went and I said, "Don't worry, I know what your recipe is. I'll go to the store now and get your stuff," which I did. Today I get into my office, and I realized, that unfortunately I had done Doris's.
Meanwhile,
so I had to go to the store this morning.
Doris accidentally did
mine.
Yours.
Actually, which was yours.
Which was originally mine. This is ridiculous. Okay, tuna
Who's
rice
on
pie.
first?
I'm
Third base.
I'm going to do tuna rice pie, and the first thing you need to do for the tuna rice pie is you take 1 1/3 cups of minute rice. I just use some Success rice. You use any kind of rice you want to. Just do it according to the rice instructions. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to put, we're going to take an egg and scramble it up real good and put it in there. And meanwhile, I got to put some milk on the stove, about a little bit. 3/4 of a cup milk, and we got to scald that just a little. So, and open up a can of just plain old chunk tuna. And I got white in
Yummy,
water,
yum, yum,
which
yum,
is
yum,
what I
yum,
prefer
yum.
personally. White tuna in water. And I'm going to drain that real well. And in fact, while you're draining it, what's this in there? Somebody else's stuff is in here. Just kind of take it and, can you see this? I can't see where we are. And just sort of push the lid in until you get all the juice out of there.
I am convinced somebody will make $1 million if they invent something that you can push down on a can of tuna and get all the junk off.
You don't need to. Just take the lid and push it in like that.
It doesn't work.
It does work. It's beautiful. Now it's nice and flaky. All you have to do is just flake it. So anyway, go ahead, Doug.
Just
what
like
are you doing?
you. I'm making a big old mess. I'm going to do salmon potato cakes today, and I'm not used to this recipe because it wasn't mine in the first place. So I'm kind of huffy about it, and I'm playing it by ear today. So bear with me, ladies and germs. And so anyway, first thing I did was that's all, folks. I took a 14 3/4 ounce can of salmon, and I'm draining it, which over in the sink is what Larry saw, and he can just get over it because I got here first. And so anyway, that's the first thing you do. Then you need 2.5 cups of prepared mashed potatoes. And we're going to make a big old mess, and now I'm just making a big old mess. And be sure you put your fire under your your frying pan, because we are going to fry these babies up. Throw some Earl in there. I'm using canola because I heard
just as you
doesn't
thought
smoke.
there wasn't any fire under his griddle anymore.
Well, I'm old, you know. Things are so tough.
Let me know when you finish up here.
You don't know how finished I am.
I'm just taking an old egg and just beating the stuffings out of it, and I'm going to put it in this rice. And we're going to mix that up real well
I'm
with
real
a little
proud of
fork
you.
or something, and in a minute we're going to press it into the bottom of a pie plate. And I'll give you a little tip on that. But right now, back to...
Okay, here's something I really loathe to do. Separate an egg. Don't you know? Oops. I got to do this into the mashed potatoes. You have your... I made these ahead of time. Yeah, right.
Did you make them from scratch, Doug?
Well, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to put the... get out of there. 2 egg whites into this big old mess. There's one. And here comes another. And a tablespoon of parsley flakes. Oh, and maybe 3 or 4 tons of eggshell. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, everybody. I'm just kidding. Oh. Goodbye. See ya. It's been real. This is like going to be a whole roll of whatchamadooger. And here we go. Oops. Well, it would help if I put it on the right side. Parsley flakes. Oh, goodness.
I'm going to warm up a little milk. I got a scald 3/4 cup of milk.
Oh, I'm thrilled to death for you. And mix this all together, the egg whites, the parsley, and the potatoes. Actually, this is looking pretty good, if you ask me. And I like salmon.
It does look pretty.
Every now and then I can tolerate a little bit of salmon.
Oh, so we're up now to 2 fish that you like.
Yeah, well,
salmon.
sort of. I mean,
but
the jury is still out on this salmon
He
thing.
doesn't like either one of them fresh,
right,
filleted or anything. He likes them both out of cans.
Right.
Okay.
Got a problem with that?
No.
Yes, you do. Now, okay, that's well combined, and now I'm going to gently fold. You remember him, don't you?
All
gently fold in your 14-ounce can of flaked salmon. Throw that in there. Doris gave me a good tip, ladies and gentlemen. Doris is like a walking encyclopedia.
What'd she tell you, to invest in plastics?
Well, she told me, no. She told me to, when you open up your can of salmon, take that little nasty black stuff if you find it in there, because it only makes it bitter and nasty.
Yeah.
So she's absolutely correct. And, of course, Doris is always correct, and we always have to, And then you take a 1/2 cup of chopped green onion and throw that in. Doesn't that sound pretty darn good? And now gently fold all this together. And then we're going to make little patties, and we're going to fry them. I remember Little Patty, don't you?
Little Patty.
Yeah, she was a good friend of ours who lived down the street just a tad. I think she went to Virginia Western. Yes, she did.
It's a mess.
Have you ever noticed how they ignore me?
No, I'm just letting you go on. I think I want you to go on.
I can't go on.
So what are you doing now?
I want to be alone. I'm just still folding gently because then I'm going to start frying these little babies up for you, Lair.
Good.
Because I just know you love them.
Sounds wonderful.
And they are, and I am sure of it. So how are you doing over there?
Ah, pretty good. Now here's what I got to do.
Thank goodness. I thought I was dead in the water up here.
He says I never let him talk. I let him talk, he gets nervous. Now, take a regular standard pie plate, and it doesn't say to do this, but I think it might be a good idea. Take a little Pam or some kind of releasing spray and put it on the bottoms, because this is going to make a real nice, we hope, crust. And what you do
You're
is
a little nervous about that coming out, aren't you?
Well, you never can tell. Now, here's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to press it down and bring it up on the sides, and she gets right particular about how far up the sides you bring it and all this. Here's an easy way to accomplish this. I have a standard size pie plate, and I have a smaller pie plate, which, by the way, is one of my dear Aunt Tootsie's sweet. Look at that. That's an old, very old pie plate with. It's just gorgeous, it really is. Probably dates back about 50 years. Anyway, take pie plate number 1.
Pie plate number 1.
And press it against pie plate number 2. You have to see this. I hope you got your TV set turned up real nice so you can see this, and kind of give it a little twist as you're pulling it off. And there you are. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, big.
All right. So anyway, that's going to be the basis. You're going to bake that with all of this delicious stuff inside it. Doug, back to you until I get my milk scalded, and I'll show you how this thing goes together.
I'm using my God-given little patty makers, my little patties to make patties, and you make them very nice and pretty. Dip them in some breadcrumbs. Be sure you get crumbs all over. Doris is right. Now, Doris made this one, too. Doris made every recipe today.
Doris has made all the recipes.
Her hands never left her arms.
Did you make this one, too? Oh, okay. She didn't make mine. So, anyway.
No, because... And you just put this in the oil, fry about 2 to 3 minutes on each side.
The biggest mess.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting ready for stage 2.
Stage 2.
Yeah. I'm going to pull the milk off because it is now at the scaldy stage, and I have let my bowl go somewhere. It's over here.
Oh.
There's just no end to the misery. Okay. So put some milk in here, scalded milk.
Scalded milk.
And into that, you will also put salt and butter and American cheese. It says that you take American cheese and grate it. And I defy you to find American cheese in a store that's grateable. You can find it in a little packets and all that stuff.
Right.
But you can make a substitute, as I am today, with just American processed cheese, which I've done. Or you can use your favorite. You can use
a little mild cheddar would be nice.
Mild cheddar or whatever you'd like to. I mean, how can you go wrong? It's cheese and tuna, for heaven's sake. So anyway, I'm going to start putting this together. A little bit of nutmeg goes into this too, by the way. 1/8 of a teaspoon of that, 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. Do I have any pepper? Yeah, I do. Okay. And this is why I couldn't find nutmeg for this weekend for a recipe I wanted, because it was in the refrigerator waiting to come to Cookin Cheap. So anyway.
Grocery stores, heard of them?
Yeah, well.
Guess not.
Thank you very much, Doug.
Sure.
Sure I have. Now here's, well,
Since I spent my whole weekend in a grocery store
Did
buying
you really?
everybody's ingredients for all 3 of these recipes. Not that anybody cares. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Scalded milk, nutmeg, pepper. Oh, and 3 eggs. I knew there was something else that went into this.
Oh.
3 eggs go into this. What? 2. I'm sorry, I used 1. This calls for a total of 3 eggs. 1 has already been used in the rice, and the other 2 get put into this mixture. And you may want to take it a little easy on the nutmeg. You know, I love nutmeg, but I love nutmeg only in, like, eggnog. And a lot of people use it very heavily also in quiche. And I don't like my quiche to taste like nutmeg. I mean, just a little bit will do. There's some people who just don't like it. So the first thing you do is you come over here and sort of start putting this cheese down, and you start layering it around a little bit. Okay, a little layer of cheese on here. Make sure you broadcast it about properly. I have a couple of large lumps. My cheese got very soft, and I couldn't do a thing with it. And then see how nice this is? See, you got to be able to handle this stuff. So you've got to get all of the stuff squished out of it. All the water has to be squished out of it. And layer that onto there. And we'll keep doing that. Doug?
I'm just frying away over here.
Why don't you give your recipe?
Okay. Which one?
The one you're doing.
Sarcasm does not fit my ears down here. Salmon potato cakes. 1 14 3/4 ounce can of salmon, 2½ cups prepared mashed potatoes, 2 egg whites, 1 tablespoon chopped parsley, 1/2 cup sliced green onions, oil for frying, and dry breadcrumbs, as opposed to soggy breadcrumbs, which I never heard of.
Okay, here's what goes into mine. 1 1/3 cups of rice, says minute rice. You can use any kind you want to. Use your imagination. You don't have to go exactly by recipes, ladies and gentlemen. Use your brains. 1 1/3 cups of water. That's to do your rice in case you wonder later on what you were supposed to use the water for. This woman was very specific. She wanted to make sure that you boiled your rice in water.
Wow.
1 teaspoon of salt. 1 1/2 teaspoons of butter, 3 eggs. You'll use 2 of them in the mixture that goes into it and 1 with your rice. A cup of grated American cheese. You can make a substitute any kind of cheese you want to. A can of tuna, 7 ounces drained, 3/4 of a cup of milk scalded, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. Now here's what we're going to do here. I'm going to finish this up, and you will have tuna fingers when you get finished with this. None of your friends will want to be around you.
Except your cat.
So maybe you would like to have some lemon standing by.
Oh,
so
another good tip from the Larry blog.
Oh, yes. So take this and pour it over. And you may want to put 1 final topping of some kind of cheese on top of that if you want to. Put that in the oven at 400 degrees for 25 minutes. It'll start getting nice and brown there. They'll show it to you in just a minute. Doug?
I'm still frying, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's a true.
Oh, it's frying time again.
Yeah, la la la.
I'm going to leave you.
Now, Doris is right. These things, be careful because they do fall apart a little bit on you. So, I don't know quite what the answer is, but we'll give it the old college try here. Oh.
The answer is you got to let them really
fry
hard, and don't bother them, and stop peeking.
Oh, all right.
Because the more you move them around, the worse they get.
Well,
that's true.
I figure we got places to go and people to see.
Come on in here. We have the very lovely Doris visiting us today. Doris has made every recipe except mine.
No, I didn't make yours. Yours was the salmon cakes originally, wasn't it?
Well, we're all confused. Who is on first?
Third
really?
base.
If Carol hadn't called, I don't know what would have happened today. But I ended up making mock crab cakes, which originally was my recipe, but I had to get in here early to do it today. And it takes 2 cups of peeled, oh, it says peeled.
Yeah,
I didn't do that.
This is probably the most preparation. You know, this is probably the most preparation the show has ever had.
Really?
Because nobody. Go ahead.
Well, I did 2 cups of peeled grated zucchini, 1 cup Italian breadcrumbs, 1 teaspoon Old Bay seasoning, and it says don't substitute. Just use that. 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. You grate your zucchini, and then you have to pat it real dry and mix together your Old Bay seasoning, egg, and mayonnaise, and then mix it into your zucchini. Well, it got really soupy. I don't know, but I managed to get it done, and you put this blob in the breadcrumbs and gently turn it around, and it actually ended up being cakes.
They really look pretty, too.
They are.
And, you know, you could take Old Bay. I was born in Baltimore, and we are very passionate about our Old Bay seasoning up there. And you could probably take a marshmallow and put Old Bay on it, and it would taste like wonderful seafood.
Well, it turned out pretty good, and I had done Doug's earlier.
Yeah.
And I had a time with that one, but I also, I made some do you have time? I made some.
No,
no,
we
okay.
don't. We got the Cook sisters coming along.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
The Cook sisters have taken over. So let's go see the Cook sisters right now. I'm just getting cues of all kinds here. I have to keep things straight. Here they are.
Are we on? How are we doing? What are you doing?
I'm rearranging.
Oh, well, how nice. Well, I got a little something about measuring honey. Measuring honey.
Oh,
That's a left riot, isn't it?
it's been a while.
Okay, do you have trouble getting honey off the spoon? when you
No.
Well, then you're going to kill this tip because I'm going to tell you
Oh,
anyway.
well, okay,
You
let's
spread
do it.
the spoon with a little margarine. Margarine on the spoon, that honey will slide off like Teflon.
Get out of here.
Okay.
Oh, no, don't get out of here. I'm Tootsie Cook.
I'm Roxy Cook, and
we're
we're
the
the
Cook
Cook
sisters.
Sisters. Oh, that was a fast one. I didn't know you were going to do that.
The tuna fish pie came out pretty good. I didn't spray this one. That's why I figured I ought to. It's just it wasn't terrible to get out, but I think it would be a lot better to get out, a lot cleaner if you did spray it first. Isn't that pretty? Looks real nice. And we're going to go over and get this show on the table.
And here we go.
Oh, look at that.
Thank goodness Doris made these because I'm still frying these babies up until I go, I don't have time for this.
Well, they are beautiful.
Aren't they pretty?
They really are.
So I'm going to go over there and serve you these, whether you like it or not.
I have to go. I have to go.
So here we go. Off I go.
Take this one.
Into the wild blue yonder. Oh, we don't have any plates. Oh, you took them.
Oh, of course we do. Of course we do. Oh, you know, it seems like it'll never happen, but usually we make it. And look at all, well, we've all
Here you
sorts
go.
of things to...
Oops, sorry.
Well, they do look pretty. And for those of you that can't afford these are the mock ones.
Mock, mock.
Mock, mock.
Is that like
Okay,
Maki
very
Maki?
lovely. Well, give it a
Look,
try.
Doris made actual homemade
Look
tartar
at
and
this.
horseradish sauce,
Oh,
which
I
is what you're
love
supposed to
horseradish.
serve with these little salmon
Isn't that
thingies.
special?
They look good.
Oh, they really do. Which one of these is yours? This one is.
I forgot.
Oh,
I mean,
yes. Well, you know, we've been playing around with them so long.
I ate that too, and it's very
That's
good.
pretty good. I think that I almost prefer that to a salmon patty by itself. I sort of like that. It gives it a whole lot of different flavor.
Well, because you know I'm a big fan of tuna, but this is really good.
You like the tuna?
It's very
then?
unusual.
Yeah. Well, remember, you can't tuna fish. Let me see what this... Harold liked that.
Thank you, Harold.
You can tuna piano, but you can't tuna fish. Okay, let me try this.
Forgot that first part, didn't you? Ooh, yum. I could eat all these.
Well, you know what? This is pretty good. It really is.
I am quite deeply moved. This is delicious. Well, who knew fish was good for you?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
The
good.
tuna worked out pretty good.
I think it's
All that
delicious.
cheese and everything.
Well, you can't go wrong with 14
Now,
pounds
remember-
of cheese.
We always love to hear from you, unless you have a crab letter to write. No, if you can do that too. But we always like recipes, so make sure you send us some recipes. You know what? Recipes are starting to pick up again,
Are they?
thanks to email.
Yay.
We're now getting probably about 4 or 5 a week on the average. Plus, people are still sending those cards and letters with the recipes on them. So
We love that.
yeah, we do, because we keep getting some real good ones. How many did we go through last year?
Oh, good heavens.
Hundreds.
100. I would say 200 at least.
And it looks like we chose pretty well. I think we did, anyway.
I'm real proud of being on this seafood show. I just want you to know.
I'm proud of you, too.
Because everything is good, and I could actually make a meal of those little salmon things.
Oh,
Oh, do you have the
I
vapors?
tell you, I am just hot. Well, I don't know what's happening. We're having unseasonably warm temperatures here in the south.
Or
And
under
by the time you see
14,000
this, it'll be
lights,
12
too.
degrees outside.
That's
You know,
right.
That's the terrible thing about the show. You know, it's out there for 3 years, in
Oh,
case you didn't know it.
Are these our new pigs?
Oh, our new pigs. Let's show the new pigs.
Aren't they cute?
Oh, look at that. We have a little pig napkin holder
A little pig
and pig
thingies.
salt and pepper shaker.
Well, who knew?
Which reminds me, people are always writing, where can they get all this stuff? And I always have to write them the same letter
Say,
over again.
we don't know.
Because people send it to us free of charge. So anyway, well, we're just going to continue eating on, and that's about it for this week's Cookin' Cheap.
We'll see you next
Aren't
week.
you real proud that Doug is finally learning to appreciate fresh seafood from the can?
So maybe that nasty woman won't yell at me for not eating stuff.
Oh, she wasn't nasty. That was your mama.
Oh, oops. Sorry, Mom. Bye. See ya.